Hello and welcome back to another fun card making tutorial. My name is Archisha from Ketty School and today I would be showing you how to create this double slider card. Since it is the season of weddings, I wanted to gift this to one of my close friends who's getting married. For the center element of my card, I'm going to use the Craftangles couple silhouette stencil and I will be only stenciling out one of the figures. Hence, I will be covering all the other silhouettes with some paper so that I don't end up adding some textured paste in those areas. For this, I'm using the new Craftangles texture paste, which is called the Unicorn Dreams, and this looks so amazing on black cardstock. It looks white when it's wet, but when it dries, it gives a very iridescent effect. So I'm just going to add this texture paste on my stencil and then peel off the paper. Oh, also, I would like to suggest you keep the foil sheet on these texture paste to avoid them from going dry. Now, the best part, that is the moment of reveal. I love doing this and it never gets old. I'm going to set this aside and let it dry and work on the double slider mechanism. I'm using the Lawn Fawn double slider die, which is an interactive die, and I'm going to cut out the main slider mechanism and the backing of the slider mechanism with some dual textured Craftangles cardstock and the front panel with some pattern paper. And I'm using this Paris theme paper pattern because it's a love card, right? I'm using a scoring tool to score those score marks already created by the die, and I'm using a bone folder to secure those folds well. Now for the slider mechanism, you will need a piece of plastic and it needs to be a soft piece of plastic, not very hard. So I'm just using a garbage bin plastic. Yeah, this is a clean garbage bin plastic and it's fresh. It's not from my kitchen garbage bin, okay? So I am just going to cut out a band that would go around that uh, T-shaped paper piece, and there you see I'm cutting it off with my scissors and I'm making sure that the width of that band is not wider than the slots in my T shape. Now I'm going to use my pair of scissors and cut one end because I've got a band already, but I don't need it to be that long. So I'm just going to slit it open and it becomes a huge piece of thin plastic. Then I will be cutting this off as per the width of my choice, and the remaining plastic I can just use it for another double slider card. To make the bond very secure for the seam of the plastic, I would suggest you use some very tacky double-sided tape and not some liquid glue, because we do not want this to come off in any way. And when your recipient is usually pulling on those tabs, they are so excited, I feel they put in extra pressure and you don't want it to be a flop show, right? You don't want the seam to come off at that moment. So make sure that you're using some strong bond to secure the seam of the plastic. Also make sure that the plastic is not too tight on the band so that it restricts from the movement of the sliders. I'm cutting off the extra part of my plastic and that can be also used for another card. Then as you can see, I'm seeing that it rolls well across the slots. Now again going back to the same theme paper pattern, and I'm going to cut out the tabs which will be pulled out for the double slider. And you see I will be placing these tabs in the way I'm showing them here. One goes in the front and one goes in the back. Before I stick my tabs, I'm also making sure that my front panel and my back panel has a notch, and this notch die is included in the Lawn Fawn die, so that basically it creates a little place for the users or the receivers to place their thumbs when they're pulling the tabs. Again, using a very strong double-sided tape to make sure when you're tugging on the tab does not come out all the way. And I'm also putting 2 rows of double-sided tape here. Now make sure you nicely press the double-sided tape on the paper so that it's stuck well. One very important step is you have to make sure that the seam of the plastic is at the back on your right hand side, and then you can stick your front panel where the exposed side of your glue is on the leftmost side of your panel. I think the video is pretty self explanatory. Make sure the bond is pretty strong by using your bone folder and securing it tightly. For the tab at the back, we won't be sticking the double-sided tape at the back, but in the front, so that both the tabs face the pattern side of the tabs face the receiver. Again, two rows of double-sided tape, making sure that the tapes are secure, pulling off the backing paper, and now very carefully you see that I have flipped my slider mechanism, and I'm also flipping the back panel. Again, keeping a little gap of around 1 centimeter like I did for the front panel. And there your double slider mechanism is practically ready. We just have to make a sleeve for it now. Now I'm not playing with it. Actually I am, but you have to make sure that the mechanism is pretty smooth, and I would be doing this at every step of building this card, making sure that nothing is stuck in the way of your slider mechanism. Now earlier I had die cut two of those sleeves that go around this. So I'm putting the back white panel, and I'll be putting the front pattern paper panel. Again, for every bond that I make, I'm using strong adhesive so that my card is secure and the slider mechanism is robust. While we are building this card, let me talk to you about the Craft Angles monthly challenge. Don't forget to check out the link to the blog in this particular video, and the link will take you to a blog post which writes more about this card and the Craft Angles products that I've used for this card. Also, lead you to the Craft Angles monthly challenge and the rules you need to follow for it. And I think it's a great challenge, and you have a chance and an opportunity to win great prizes. So don't forget to check that out on Craft Angles blog post. And now we have secured the last bit of our slider mechanism, and all that is left is to decorate this and attach it to a card front. I'm making sure that the slider mechanism is smooth, and I'm going to make it a little more smoother by sliding those tabs in and out. I have cut out an oval from the stencil piece that we did earlier, and I'm sticking it onto my panel with some foam tape. I'm also going to add some lace around it to give it a little more romantic look. I think lace makes everything pretty, and it goes very well with the Paris theme. Adding some iridescent jewels around the silhouette couple. To decorate the card even further, I have used the Craft Angles Indian Wedding stamp set for my sentiment. So I have stamped out only congratulations on top of the slider panel, and for the inside, I have placed a silver hard die cut, and at the bottom, I have added another sentiment from the same stamp set. Now I'm super excited to show you this product by Craft Angles. These are basically pre-cut note cards, and I think this would reduce my work so much more because I had to create notelets in mass, and I used to create around 500 of them so that they last for a while. Now I don't have to do that. I just have to get these from Craft Angles, and these are perfect A2 size. There is a top folding A2 size card as well. This one is a side folding, and there are also notelets for slimline cards. And I think creating slimline card bases is a little difficult because you need a bigger uh, cardstock, right? But I think this makes my work so easy. And there, the card is almost finished. I just added a mat of silver at the back, and I placed my entire arrangement on top of it. I also added some silver lace by punching a hole in the two tabs so that the user can pull it more easily and more efficiently. And there, the slider looks so pretty. I also created one more off camera in red and gold combination, and I think this combination looks very good for Indian weddings. And I added the same sentiment, and I added a golden hard die cut instead of a silver one. And I love how poles apart these are. One is so pastel and subtle, and one is so in for an Indian wedding. I hope you liked today's video and this inspires you to create some more interactive cards. I had a lot of fun creating them. If you like such video tutorials, don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more fun videos. Also, you can follow me on Instagram at kg.school. Have fun, guys. Bye.